Okay, so this just screams me they have another one. We're going to allow this to happen, and we're going to allow them to play their other one and then blow them out of the game. Is our goal. It's our goal. Ill-time explosion. Give up the 1 blue, put in the battalions, make a construct, make a constructs. Now we're cruising, and now I attack right now. Everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing some Is It Artifacts. We're primarily focused around playing Simulacrum Synthesizer. This is one of my kind of MVP cards that is in standard. I enjoy playing this card all over the place. It's what I play in Commander myself personally. When this enters the battlefield, we scry 2. That's good, but not the important part. Whenever another artifact with mana value 3 or greater enters the battlefield, we make a construct. So what we're doing is printing out a lot of constructs to get very, very large and beat our opponent down, or win the board state very, very quickly where our opponent's creatures cannot attack no matter their size, because oftentimes the constructs will always be bigger. So what we are trying to do in the Is It version, or the blue-red version, is kind of combo with Skitterbeam Battalion. This card has prototype, or we can use 9 mana, but either way, because the prototype cost fits in that 5 mana slot, so higher than 3. Whenever it enters, if you cast it, we create 2 tokens that are copies of it. So the tokens of this keep the mana cost, so they'll both also be 5/5, or 2 mana for 5 mana, not 5/5s. But they will then make 3 constructs off of the synthesizer. So we'll have 3 of these enters, and then we'll have 3 constructs enter, and our board grows massive off that alone. If these are the only artifacts that are entering, the constructs themselves will be 7/7s. Regarding whether we have a Braided Net or Thran Spider in before that, or say we had to do a weird play where we Mightstone before we do all the kind of the combo. But other than that, our entire other goal in the deck is to stay alive and find the combo. So a card that's working pretty well right now is Torch the Tower. This exiles whenever it deals damage, so this gets rid of those pesky creatures that ping you on death. We have Into the Flood Maw that's here to bounce anything important that we need to get off the battlefield, whether it's a giant creature like Shielder that's punishing us whenever we're drawing off Mightstone and Weakstone, or drawing off like an Artesian talent or something like that. And we have 2 3 steps ahead, acting as a counterspell / copy / draw effect. And then we have a little bit more in our removal suite, being 2 copies of Abrade, 3 Legion Extruders. This happened to hit 2 power, which is a little bit more relevant now than it was in the past. A lot of things like Monastery Swift Spear would dodge this spell pretty easily whenever it came down to it, because they would just cast something triggering prowess, giving it 3 toughness. But most of the mice that they use now are 2 and kind of stay at 2, or they have 1 and this can pick them up pretty cleanly and make sure they're off the board. A Braid for the Boros stacks, or 3 damage, or destroy an artifact that's important, including like in the mirror, for example. And then we have some of the other cards to just help stabilize or find our combo, being the Thundertrap Trainer. This looks at the top 4. We grab the best card out of it, and then this helps us loot and makes non-creature spells cost 1 less to cast, which is pretty much everything in the deck outside of these cards right here. And that's a total of 7, so it's pretty relevant most of the time. And with that said, we have 1 Brotherhood in, and 2 ill-time explosions to board wipe if need be, and then the Mightstones, Weakstones to get things off the battlefield or draw for us. And in the land category, we have kind of a cool suite of the Fountainports to act as kind of what they've been acting as a lot, and a Vault to look deeply if we have a lot of artifacts and we just need to find a way to get something out of our road so we can find lethal. So that's like that. I hope you all enjoyed the video. We're going to go ahead and dive in, see how it goes. And if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing. Let's head out there and see if this jumbled mess can actually improve the meta. Oh boy. Just like that, right away, huh? Right away, I get a weird hint. Sure, I guess. I don't know about this hand. I'm not super confident in it, but I'm also not like super low on it. Kind of just depends what I'm against. So losers actually makes this hand, dude. Not the 3rd Fountainport, bruh. I'm about to use them to make an artifact or a treasure token just to get my Braided Net down. This is tragic. I guess, is this just artifact? Yeah, it's just artifact. Ain't have enough mana to function anymore. There's an ill-time explosion. We're slowly going to just pick off these creatures while I have the chance. The 3 mana spells are a little too large. I won't be able to answer with something like an extruder. But who knows? I might be able to make fish, draw cards, see what happens, maybe tap something, maybe still lose. I'm not sure. Ooh, that's pretty good. Full-time explosion is pretty solid though. I promise I am playing a different color. I just can't seem to find one. Create a token is for 3 mana. Okay. They honestly probably won't attack regardless. Maybe they will. Like a fish. Get the block that for free. Sweet. Slowly thinning down. It hit a land in a deep cavern bat. Well, the bat's not playable. The land is. Okay, I'll take 1 ping. I guess they had to double attack there, right? Oh, just a blue off the top, and we're pretty happy campers. All right. What about a blue card, you may say? Man, Arena really just tries to tilt you off the planet sometimes, huh? Game that's not going to be particularly close if we have a blue mana, but yet here we are. Blueless. Lost. Dazed. Confused. Yeah. Oh, they're going all out. All right. We attacking here? We are. This one? Get rid of this one because I haven't played a land. So now, like, they could have got the trigger from that. Blue mana, please. Blue mana. Everything solved with the blue mana. Okay, well, you know, I was close. Oh boy. In there, chat. Although, like, realistically, the cards that they can get, not super great. They're like fine. They can bounce my thing. Anything they target, can they cast them all or just one? Spells, all you can cast them all. Okay. Well, this card's very good for them, and they should cast it, I believe. This is not creature. You can do this, make a different 3/3. Attack ourselves, which is the weird thing about Legion Extruders, is like, it doesn't care if it's a token or anything. It just has to meet the requirement of an artifact. And because the Vine Lasher token's gone, the torch is not necessarily that great. Finally, I should ping for 1. I have a 3/3 in the way. And hopefully... Oh, really? Okay, so this just screams me they have another one. We're going to allow this to happen, and we're going to allow them to play their other one and then blow them out of the game. Is our goal. It's our goal. Ill-time explosion. We can get rid of Claptrap and Braided Net. And that'll be 3 across the board. Those will all go away. Now they can reanimate one with the village. That is something they can do. And it looks like you can also give it haste. Oh, they don't even try? But you actually had a play. I mean, to be fair, I have 5 cards in hand, so it's not likely. But I mean, you gave yourself a card that you could technically do it, like on my instep, but because we know about this, I'm holding this up the entire time. I'm not letting it happen. We go first. We start with the blue mana this time. So cool. I'll keep this. Hopefully it works out. I guess I'll just play as Fabled Passage. Conceal. When I'm playing. Green black kind of implies... I normally just assume it's the combo deck for now. Because if it's not the combo deck, we're perfectly fine. If it's the combo deck, that is something we do indeed have to worry about. So, kind of where I sit. Now, Terra Sunder is definitely an option for my opponent. So So I kind of want to play Synthesizer on turn 4 whenever I can Skitter Battalion after. Or maybe even trying to just go that route in general. No pause there. Kind of implies Terra Sunder is not there. They've started to play Terra Sunder because they've had to. Go for the throat, not good. Cut down, not good. Cut down can pick up one of the battalions, though. So that's interesting enough. Pop this. Try. No pause. We'll see. Just see if we get to do the kind of wombo combo next turn. We'll attack. We have kind of protection here with this. In terms of like bouncing a creature, or if they play some kind of like exile under effect, which they're not really going to be in. You go get a land. Ooh. The best part about the way our mana is kind of curved out here too, is I'm going to be able to play this battalion and bounce this. So with that said, I think weirdly enough the Braided Net goes. We hold here. Thankfully they're not able to actually look at our hand. And then tap here, go to the stack with this, leave up to 1 blue, put in the battalions, make a construct, make a constructs. Now we're cruising, and now I attack right now. Obviously they can trade off one of my battalions if they can. They do have Deadly Cover up next turn if they want it, if that's kind of the version of the deck we're looking at here. We'll see in turn. That would be devastating. Phyrexian Obliterator, very, very cool. The problem for that is even if, I guess if they had a green, it could make it fight, but I still had the bounce spell. I had a good time. Arena actually running fine today. Don't want to jinx it. Go first. We're ready for the aggro matchups, so I normally keep kind of the slower matchups. We're able to kind of, I don't know, play it a bit weirder, right? Like, obviously blue-white control gets a little whack, but what I mean by the slower matchups is if we are against mono-black discard, like, as long as we get a Synthesizer down, we can pretty much crawl back into game. If we're against something like the skeleton. Any bones? Hopeless Nightmare. Okay. Just like in discard in general, this is a permanent spell. A non-lit permanent spell. I guess I can just get rid of Braided Net. This matchup, if they are just hard discard, I'm not going to need too many copies of something like Braided Net in play. Now, I'm going to go the more mana efficient route, especially if they have another copy of Tiny Bones in hand. Braided Net in play can just keep tapping that thing. Put a little tap on the forehead. Actually, if it even makes contact and they cast my Braided Net, well, I can actually shut my artifacts off, weirdly enough. Let's tap this. No contact. Ooh, very cool card to pick up here. Let's go for it. Get to see this card in action in this deck. Played it in my Ral Storm list I was playing a while ago, but get to kind of play it immediately here. Now we have answers for something like a Deep Cavern bet. We'll see what happens though. They might be popping this immediately. Ooh, go for the throat. That's not fun. No. But again, we have Deep Cavern bat coverage, so has to be kind of a duress type effect if they're really wanting to affect us. But we'll tap this again. Not let it make contact here. Hold this torch, I guess, for removal if need be. Play the Synthesizer. We'll get a good scry. We're looking for a land plus probably anything relevant. I think I believe that fits the bill. So we'll keep. They don't have like a devastating thing on top. I'm not too worried about the Mirrex tokens, honestly. Like Mirrex tokens are kind of annoying in general, but not that bad. I'm looking to probably flip this next turn anyway. I will just tap Tiny Bones because I don't really want them to get my trainer anymore. Yeah, that's fine. One hit. My turn. I play land. This is a blue. I could play this, or I can go for this guy, which can block the Mirix token. Yeah, let's do that. Colorless. Yeah, that's fine. Play this. See if like the 3 steps ahead is really what we want here. Field. So we have a Braided Net and a Graveyard. These top cards, Mightstone and Weakstone is cool, but I'll take it 3 steps ahead, so they know they kind of have to play around that for the rest of the game. So it kind of comes down to that. We'll do this. We'll exile this one from our graveyard, of course, and then now this will re-enter the battlefield, making us a 4/4. If they have a way to remove it, we can always just sack it to bargain this so we can get a scry. Obviously, we don't need the damage necessarily, but we're going to go for the throat, interestingly enough. Our 4/4 can... Our 4/4 doesn't get any smaller, which is kind of funny. Normally, if I play like a synthesizer deck, if anything on the battlefield leaves, my construct gets smaller, so still seeing it as a 4/4 is kind of funny to me. But I'm going to torch the Tiny Bones and just block the Mirix token. It's kind of where I'm at here. At least is where I feel like I'm at. Second Mirix token is gross. I do not have any demo fields in my deck. Double attack here. Block here. We fire this thing off here. Now that's exiled. I do feel like they have another Tiny Bones in hand, because their hand has come out so staggered. But there's a Preacher. Mamma mia. That's a pretty good draw. That's a pretty good draw. And a good answer here. So -5 comes across the board here. We make another synthesizer and I crack my opponent for 6. And now our Legion can be activated in order to sack an artifact and then make it 3/3 if needed. If I want to go that route, which we arguably could because that's 6. I guess if I just play synthesizer next turn, it grows to be large enough. But at the same time, if we needed to get that extra damage across, we can always sack our Braided Net if they tap out, for example. Wow, Arena, you are tempting the patience today for sure. The very first game we have was the opposite. That time it was the other way. What a day, bro. We'll keep, I guess, at this point. Although Battalion's pretty expensive. I'll probably let Battalion go for now, because Battalion's also not as worth it without the synthesizer ready. But I guess with Thran Spider, I was going to get to play it early. Here. I'll pass. I can probably hold that for one more turn. Play this and then say go ahead. Bounce it if need be. Not sure what they're playing. A second copy of that, at least. At the very least, they're playing a second copy of that. Now, one of the bad things, though, is that with Thran Spider's token it makes, they can actually use that to upgrade here, which is kind of gross. But I'm still going to play it so I can Mightstone, Weakstone, and kind of have a perma blocker here. So yeah, so I can like lead into this card. And then this can kind of block, because most likely outside of a bounce spell, go for the throat and cut down, or what they're playing. Sometimes we'll splash one, like a Long Goodbye, or a Bitter Triumph, or a Fell, or the one that has Forage on it. But with that said, I don't know what's going on. Don't see this card very often. Mosswood. Alright, green's in their deck. They're Sultai. I know that much. Which is cool. This is cool. We're gonna deck then here because I feel like we need to. I'm almost down to, with my Mightstone, Weakstone, I'm just drawing cards, I think. I think there's a world with this Mightstone, Weakstone that I'm ever supposed to just remove this 1/1. Drawing 2 cards here. Braided Net is interesting. I think it's 2/4. Holding back is way better. General. Hey, there it is. I have a feeling I'm playing against some type of reanimator deck. Also, sweet, I guess. Be cool for us. Gives our like Legion Extruder more value. We do have exile effects for the Mosswood, so I'm not even that worried about it. This might be a sick play here in general, as I can play this. Play. Ooh, I'm just not gonna have the red, huh? I mean, either way, it's kind of cool. I guess I can go for the Braided Net. So I can level this up. And then I can play Braided Net here. And then, depending on kind of how this combat damage goes, get rid of this Fountainport. Prevail land. Cool. We can play that next turn. Depending how this Braided Net goes, I can tap whatever is required of me to tap. What you got for me, opponent? Keeper's Talent. Okay. I think they're just like a variation of the combo deck. Still a little lost myself. See where they put the counter. Then tap it, I guess. Sure. We'll get hit for too much here. Hit for a little bit. Just a little bit. Level. Pick up a card. Shieldred's Edict. Sure. I mean, okay. I mean, I drew a Thran Spider, so it happened to work out, but sure. This is non-creature. If source deals damage, deals more. No mana left, so cast this. This will trigger. Get rid of the falls. Draw another land. We'll enter. We'll get rid of the token because the token is semi-permanent, right? So then I will play Mountain. I will cast this thing. Make more tokens. I will then craft here. Crafting makes sense. We'll do it with our Thran Spider. Obviously, they have a Thran Spider stopper here, but can get around that a little bit in a weird way. Because this does say non-token or token. So if they choose a non-token, we just sacrifice it and then we make a 3/3 token. So they have to kind of remove it again. But either way, they could not waste their mana. So that would be the smarter thing to do. Because the Innkeeper, well, not waste it at first, I guess, is what I should say. A miss. Nice. Top 4 lands on the bottom. Or creatures, I guess. Yeah. Sick. Level 2 there. So their stuff's going to have ward. That's what they're opting for. They're going to put counters on this Mosswood Dread Knight. So when it kind of goes to combat here, they can have it kill my Thran Spider, but I'm not budging that. Just take the damage here. And if they go for the Edict, I then just pop the Edict. Or pop my Thran Spider and play around the Edict. So each sacrifice a non-token creature. So here you will be able to see. I'll sacrifice this. And that'll be a token, so it'll kind of fizzle that spell in general. Blue here. Or back here. Go ahead and activate this thing. Alright. Seems good. Seems good. This is not pumped all the way. It needs 4 mana, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. So they won't have enough even if they play land to play Vraska as well. They could play board wipes, which would be interesting to say the least. But yeah, so for 2 mana, I will cast this. Discard a card. Spirebluff Canal can go. There's a Vault. My opponent concedes to the Synthesizer. The reduction off this is actually going to be kind of sick. Besides the fact that I guess I can't play the battalions that freely, but I'm just going to play a second Synthesizer and try to play the Mightstone and Weakstone and go that route. And then if they wipe the board, then play the battalion and then go that way. My opponent goes first. Sure, I guess. I mean, I have lands. I have like a 3 steps ahead. I have an Abrade, Mightstone, Weakstone. No Synthesizer here, but we'll see. I don't need any more lands. I promise you that right now. But we do, but we like don't at the same time. Sure. Now, this matchup will matter a lot when it comes down to whether or not we find our synthesizer in time, whether we can protect our synthesizer, or I don't know. It'll be weird. We have to kind of not draw all our removal. All right. Well, our opponent just immediately tapped out for an Archangel. Synthesizer? No. Another land that we don't want? Sure. Like, I just keep drawing lands, apparently. It's like the curse of playing 24 lands. If you play in the middle, you have so many times where you don't get lands, or you just get over flooded with lands. It feels like it never stops. Legion Extruder is like fine, I guess. I kind of want to cast this Mightstone and Weakstone, but I just don't think I can. Much rather counter a spell and draw a spell. Counter and draw off the 3 steps ahead. Sure. Time to Thundertrap Trainer. Thundertrap Claimer. I'm adding a C in there. It's official. That's what I'm doing now. You can't stop me. Ooh. I'll pass. I have 6 mana. I might as well play this next turn with protection. Again, they tapped out for the Archangel, which kind of just feels as though they don't have a second counter spell. I can opt to play Mightstone and Weakstone here. They know about Synthesizer, so like, will they counter the Mightstone and Weakstone? I'm unsure, so I'm going to go for it. They can counter this, so I can't play Synthesizer. I go for a No More Lies? Sure. Attack. There'd be an opportunity for them to blow up my vault too. Knowing I'm artifacts, I would definitely blow this up, but I'm not them. They're not me. Spirebluff Canal. 4 cards in hand. If Arena doesn't want to screw me over, that'd be cool. It almost made it where I didn't have double blue on my 3 steps ahead. No More Lies. I'm just auto paying. Like, I'm paying the mana for it. I'm not going to do it the other way. 3 steps ahead. They could have a No More Lies, like I've said. But if I can make them use it all, then sure. I'll take my 2 damage against this match. Now, if they use a No More Lies, like if I find another Synthesizer, I feel pretty confident. I don't like that play at all. I think you definitely No More Lies my Synthesizer so it gets exiled. Just don't counterspell the counterspell. Use it on the Synthesizer, because now, like, if I had a way to reanimate this, like, how much worse does that feel, right? They attack here. I'll have removal spells on the following turns for this if I don't have anything else. Hopefully I do, I guess. If this hits a land. It does. So it's a 2/3. Remains to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here's a battalion. Things are getting crazy. They're speedsters. Get in there right away. Big balls. Now they might sunfall me. That's possible. Definitely a thing that could happen. Don't worry, I have No More Lies too. I guess I can always just blow the artifact up here. I guess I don't have to shoot my thing down. I can just blow this up. They surveil. They can't bring up the land here. Prairie lockdown, sure. Again, we'll get this artifact onto the battlefield so I don't have to deal with it later. Build time explosion's pretty cool. Use the vault, please. Build time, we're just looking to draw a couple cards here. Decline. Fountainport. Now I can make a fish. Maybe? Not really. I guess I could play a Braided Net here. Braided Net can tap their land down if they try to bring it up to combat, which is funny. So we can kind of cause them to waste their mana. We demo field me now. Does it say non-land? It does say non-land. Of course you do. I'm so stupid, dude. I just thought I thought it worked like Teferi did. Or not like current Teferi, like old Teferi. Where it's like, yeah, you can tap creatures, enchantment, artifact. I always just forget it's a non-land. So this counts as, or it's, yeah, whatever. This counts. That sucks. Are you going to use this demo field yet? Okay. There we go. A little part of me wants to double shoot this thing, but I just don't think it's worth it. My turn. I guess play this. We'll shoot them for 2. And the reason saving the torches works out pretty well is like now I can just look to cycle them. I can activate this Braided Net, flip it, and then maybe even just draw 2. Yeah, because I'll have 4 mana with it. Cool crap. Alright, Synthesizer. Another reason even exiling it would be good. Here we don't reanimate the Synthesizer, but at the same time, like, now I have a little bit more artifacts. A little bit more action going on. I might just use the Braided Net as a draw too. Who knows? Or I might have to use this token. Wow. Oh. This. 3 mana. Probably wasn't looking to activate my Braided Net anytime soon anyway. Sure. I'll let that hit me, I guess. Because if I didn't do it this way, they could always act like bring it up a different way. So now we just return it to their hand. Their map kind of fizzles away. Oh man, we are definitely in danger though. Just not drawing cards that we need. I know that much. Get rid of this thing. Battalion is pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How much? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I will take the battalion. Don't know what I get. I'll just do this and maybe I'll hit the land. You can make a fish. That's fine. Seems crazy to me to make a fish, but I'm not going to stop him. We play this so we can have Into the Flood Maw or something important. Here comes the ferry. I kind of hope they go all out on attacks here. Kind of what we need. They haven't shown to have a counter spell in a while based on how they've been playing, but they always could have one. Oh, please. Get up. They thought about it, so I feel like they don't have the counter spell. This is one of our only outs. Can make a fish, I guess. A block. Good ball. All unconfirmed. In. These things have trample too, so it's not like the fish works that well. We balling? Any gamers? Yeah, hit with the timer, so... Oh, it worked! Oh, yo, we balled too hard. Very cool. All right, so here we are. We have the list. I wanted to look... Oh, I played 25 even? Oh, boy. So, I played this, and I've enjoyed playing it quite a bit, actually. It felt pretty fun, pretty fine for the most part. I do think... we might have to switch it up a little bit and play a couple more copies of this because we do kind of need to find card selection. I felt myself top decking quite a bit, whether that's to play the 4th copy of this and a couple of these, maybe get the Brotherhood end out. I do not really enjoy Thran Spider either, which is a weird thing to say. Thran Spider is so good when it's good, but whenever with all these people playing these, I don't like the fact that my Power Stone helps them cast them. Like against the Golgari deck we played, like I got scared that these Power Stones would help them win the game against me. I kind of liked it just for the torch, the tower. But realistically, the 2 damage is kind of always good enough in general that I don't really need this. Or worst case scenario, I can always sacrifice this or this because bargain counts as an artifact, enchantment, or a token. So like I have enough. I don't necessarily think the Thran Spider is all that worth it. But... I'm playing 25 lands. I had 2 games where I had a 2-lander in my opener and then I didn't draw a land for 6 turns. And I like, because of all of our removal, we were able to stay in the game. But we never drew a land until our opponent played the 7th creature and we couldn't beat it. It was absurd. And I was so annoyed. But yeah, other than that, I mean, the deck list played well. It turned out well. I actually enjoyed it a lot. I think it worked out pretty well in general with only playing like 3 of these and 3 of these and 2 of these. And then like the 3 battalions. You don't want too many battalions. You don't want too many of these other things. But I do think this is an opportunity to put like immediately just kind of drop these out and just play these. You are playing a lot lower stuff. And you might be like, well, why are we doing this? Because we don't have things like white does where we can accelerate our mana. We do have a colorless mana rock, which I guess I could have put in the deck. What is it? The Iron Crag? Yeah, we probably could have played a copy of this in here. You just rock that out, you know? Like played one of these and then maybe... I don't know. Kind of maybe even trim a land just because we used the mana rock kind of thing. But other than that, I enjoyed playing the deck list. I hope you all enjoyed watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.